Also, thank you for the auto host, half empty. So shout out to you guys. Give me a second here as I'm tweeting this out. All right, so this it was an interesting thing. Hang on, first let me switch to the topic. Boom, boom. All right, here we go. All right, so this is something that I picked up while waving through the news. It is a conversation actually that was on Twitter with Phil Spencer. Um, and this particularly, I wanted to kind of use this and also the Reddit that was they were talking about. Give me a second here. Start the timer. There we go. So this was tweeted out by Xbox Fan 360 at Azuna16. Um, Alan Wake on Xbox 360 is one of the great attractions for the console. Is there a chance of a sequel for the Xbox One? Alan Wake is awesome, which I agree. Phil Spencer responds, "It was a fun game to get to work on, and I agree. For me, it was a highlight for us on 360. Great writing and setting." Another person responds, and here we can see an expert diversion from answering the question. Phil Spencer responds, not trying to divert. I like the game a lot and wanted to respond saying so. But yeah, I'm not announcing new business deals on Twitter today. Sorry. Response from another person, Phil, we need something game changing, like when Halo, Gears, Fable came on the scene, new gameplay experiences. I'm sure you know this. BC is a great and all, but I want something fresh, something we never experienced, something to immerse for us for years to come, not just multiplayer. And response finally, that's all. That's a low bar. Smiley face. I hear you. Invest. Invest in. Hang on. Okay. Invest in teams and empower them to. Hang on a second. Sorry, it has been cut off here.
You're right there.
Yeah, no. This slide is being cut off. Can I? There we go. Okay, there I can see it all. Invest more. Invest in teams. Empower them to create deep worlds with interesting stories and characters, and give them time. And the thing I want to bring up, because I want to read this particular quote from the Reddit post talking about this from Robotic Water. I'm sure they've known this. Money, time, and creative freedom have been a powerful combo since the beginning of commissioned art. This isn't something that is needed to be said. What I want to hear is what developers they intend to acquire, how much money they intend to invest, and how far they intend to keep their hands from the product. Either way, it seems Microsoft won't be putting out any decent first-party games anytime soon because they're either out of the market or they have let the seeds they've sown grow slowly.
What? Okay, that sounds so weird. Like, what does it mean by first-party Microsoft? Are they talking about like because Microsoft is making first-party games? They're
right. I think because the obvious, if you wouldn't compare the three consoles, like the obvious thing that people keep saying about Microsoft and the Xbox One is that they don't have any exclusives or not much of. Much of their
I mean, what does that mean? Because I can tell you right now that exclusives for Microsoft mean now that it's exclusive to Windows and Microsoft, or no, sorry, Windows and Xbox. That's what that means.
Yes. So what I'm trying to get at is that Microsoft, if you remember a year or two ago, they announced all these titles for the Xbox One, the Xbox One, and much of those titles that were exclusively going to come to the platform, most of them were canceled, or they have, and it's not very few of them have. And this kind of, as I was reading the conversation, this is something that went into, is Microsoft needs to really kind of look within with themselves and invest in some of these teams who are making the games, because there was a comparison between Microsoft and Sony, and Sony is where all the great what's the word for?
I'll say this: Sony figured out that by allowing a team time to make a game, you're going to get some amazing games.
Exactly.
And arguably, I will 100% agree with people if they say this. First party titles on PlayStation are better than the first party titles on the Xbox / Windows. Like full on. I mean, look at the past 5 years. It's incredible to me that Xbox has been able to stay alive with the quality of for first party titles that they've had. Because it's been garbage. I remember when like everyone had a Switch and they were playing the new Breath of the Wild, and if you didn't have that, you had an Xbox, and if you had the Xbox, you were playing this new game, and it was amazing. There's two awesome games on the PS4. Right. It was amazing.
Right.
And what did Xbox have? Halo Wars 2.
Yeah.
There couldn't have been more of a fucking like video game version release of the losing sound from Price is Right, if there ever was one.
Yeah,
like it was terrible.
Yeah.
But that's just one example. Like I love my Xbox One. I think it's a great console. And I think that the PS4 is a great console. I have nothing against it. If I had the money, I'd have all. But I'm only able to afford the Switch and the Xbox. Like that's it. I don't know. It's such a weird concept to me that Phil Spencer would have to come out and say like, it seems like the right idea to allow development teams to, I don't know, develop a game. Right. Like that's such a weird like. Why does he need to say that? Well, I mean, I don't know why I'm saying it like that. It's pretty obvious why he needs to say it. But
right. I mean, he's kind of voicing what's already been known. Like there isn't that many exclusives you can think of when you think of Xbox One. When you think of Microsoft, out of the old adage of games they have right now, like Gears of War and Halo are the ones that was huge, and now it still is big, but not particularly the way that they want it to be. And they've needed new IPs for a long time, and they're trying.
I think if you look at Nintendo and Sony, and you see the kind of games, the quality of games that they're releasing, and you see like a lot of them are first, single player experiences, long single player experiences. And then like Odyssey takes 15 hours. The new God of War takes 15 hours. Breath of the Wild takes 20 something hours.
Yeah.
The Uncharted games take 10 plus hours. Like those are pretty long single player experiences. But what's on Xbox? There really isn't anything on Xbox. And if there is a single player experience, it's like 4 to 6 hours. It's super short because there's a robust multiplayer attitude.
Yeah, and that's the thing with Microsoft with what people, when they think of Microsoft, they think of multiplayer games. They think of games that you can
think of. Why though? Why is that the case?
Because that's the
I have an answer for you.
Okay, well, I would first say that the reason for that case is because much of their games, while they have some great single player, depending on what the game it is, much of the games that are massively played on the Xbox are multiplayer games. Halo 2, Gears of War was another one that was huge on multiplayer.
Sure, it's very arguable that the house of Xbox was built on the back of Halo's multiplayer. Mm-hmm. But the market is entirely different for the Switch and the PS4.
That's true.
Why?
Yeah.
Because they sell in Japan.
No. Microsoft. Okay, and Sony, yes. Microsoft, no. They always been horrible.
No, Anthony, I didn't say Microsoft. I said the Switch and PS4 sell in Japan.
I was about to say
the Xbox doesn't. That's what I was saying.
To say. Yeah.
The consumer interest
on
what to play on those consoles is entirely different.
I agree.
Well, not entirely different, but different enough to where Sony and Nintendo go, there's some market, there's some money to be made in multiplayer games. But but Microsoft just goes, that's all anyone wants to play. It's all multiplayer.
Yep.
Like, and that's kind of a problem. That becomes an issue. I mean, I'll say Ubisoft kind of fell down that hole of like, they sacrificed the single player experiences to make it multiplayer.
Yes.
And you saw that kind of go away with, Assassin's Creed,
Unity?
Syndicate and Origin.
Okay, yeah.
Because those don't have multiplayers. Those are single player experiences only, and they're good games. Sure, they have a couple of glitches. They're going to have glitches, but they're good games.
Yeah, it's definitely it's definitely an testament, and the games for the past 2 years have been shown that single player games work quite well when done right.
Persona 5, Persona 5 was the other game I was trying to think of that
Yeah.
Sony had But I think that again is a huge aspect and factor into why Phil Spencer had to say that to Microsoft, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like that makes perfect sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd love for Microsoft to take that into consideration.
Yes.
Like, stop trying to rush things. I mean, I'll say this, like 343 Studios is definitely taking a note from that because they have been taking their time with Halo 6.
Yeah.
They were going to release that a couple years ago, and they've been working. They put a lot more time and effort.
I am not surprised if that was the case.
So, we might see a shift, but
right.
Whatever.
Yeah, you're definitely right on the money. Yeah, damn. All right. You know what time it is, guys. You know what time it is. I'm actually going studio mode here for a second so I can get that